so kind of monthly, we broke it down into kind of monthly and then kind of based on like particular projects or particular activities. And again, like details of these will be sent out. So we wanted to kind of run a competition kind of amongst you guys for kind of the campus brand who can get the most new sign-ups each month. Seems like a fairly obvious one. And hopefully a bit of healthy competition can kind of come between some of the universities. And in terms of like the kind of the targets, I think we've suggested a number. We want you guys to kind of come up with a number as well. In your plan, and send that in. And then kind of from those two, kind of we hope to kind of agree a figure towards what you're kind of hoping to achieve kind of over the year. And then kind of seeing kind of who's kind of exceeding that the most. And hopefully that will take into account like the size of your university and the opportunities that you've got available locally as well. So it's not just based on the highest number, which might be easier perhaps for certain universities than other. Best new idea, there's definitely some people that are really keen to kind of express some creativity and come up with new ideas. So we definitely want to kind of reward kind of innovation, but not just like the next best crazy idea, because we can all have some really whacking crazy ideas. But good ideas that are actually going to achieve results, going to really spread the word and get people talking and kind of ultimately people signed up. Best photo of brand placement as voted by our PR team. So by brand placement, I mean the logo on something or the logo somewhere. Who knows where that might be? It might be a screen in your students' union. How many of you got like screens playing, like showing adverts and stuff in your students' union? Yeah. I know quite a few do these days. That's just one example. Maybe someone will agree to let you like put a banner up somewhere and you can talk to us about getting a banner. You guys kind of use your imagination and see kind of what's the coolest place you can get the big bean put somewhere. And it's voted by our PR team, so each month I send in any photos that you've got, and this is it's really useful for your portfolio. But our PR team can then kind of potentially use those in kind of anything they're creating, or kind of push it out on Facebook perhaps, or if it's a funny project.
How do we get like a big banner? Do you just do it and then?
Well, find out first like where you can put it, and like if you're allowed to put it there.
Yeah.
And how big it needs to be, and then talk to me and we can look again. But we've never kind of had banners before because people generally haven't found anywhere that's useful and good to put them. But that's just one idea of getting an image on a screen or on. If you get the library or computer room to have every single screensaver with like a beam going around the screen, like that would be like amazing brand placement. Or even like the mouse mats that I mentioned, like that would be cool.
With the things like the mouse mats and the banners, so we obviously think it through and think where it would go and if it would work, how many people would see it. And then do you kind of price it up, or do you ask us to look at prices and how much it's going to cost?
We potentially kind of do that, and there's people that we get stuff into with like other things, so we can try and that we can pay back the VAT, so we get it cheaper.
Okay.
And then we post it out. Cool. Yeah, the key things like let us know numbers. Like make sure like you if you can get mouse mats in the computer room, I think it should be like a photo of that would just be awesome. Row computers with like bean mouse mats all the way down, especially if they're actually bean shaped. Maybe that's taking a bit like that. Cool. And then kind of best overall monthly report. So the monthly report that's in the handbook is like the people that are showing they're the most proactive kind of that month. And so it's not necessarily kind of quite scientific, but people that are really showing they're putting lots of effort in, they're really kind of working towards kind of that campaign. Cool. So they're kind of like monthly things that we're looking to run, and I mentioned there's a few kind of based on like specific tasks or specific activities. Hopefully these are like a little bit different. They can move some of these chairs.
Yeah, if you've been doing everything with your partner, how does that work?
Then it's like for you and your partner's one. Cool. So fly with the most number of people holding or waving a bean fly. So I'm just like picturing someone like getting an entire canteen in halls, like with everyone like holding it, assuming which everyone in that hall is going to know what's just going to go back and like tell their friends about this weird thing that just happened over dinner. Photo of the most student windows displaying a window sticker. Like again, like great kind of brand placement potentially, great for your portfolio. And think of someone walks into halls. If you could get like a whole corridor or a whole whole block with like a window sticker like in their window. Now basically everyone that's in any of those rooms, like for the next 10 years, is going to see this sticker and like, eventually think, what the hell is this website if they don't know already, and stick it into their browser. The YouTube video you already know about, and then society contact details list for the most number of valid email addresses. So this might require a bit of getting to know some heads of societies. Maybe you are one, maybe you know one, but generally it's possible with a little bit of sweet talking about buying someone a drink, you might be able to get hold of that list. Which is then really useful. Like, there's a few things that like we're hoping to kind of do, and potential products we're looking to kind of launch around kind of working with societies more, and like things you can do with like groups of students, and whether it's like group discounts or kind of other things. And for us to be able to kind of send an email out to all the heads of societies at university is like potentially quite a good opportunity. So there'll be kind of a particular time of year, a particular kind of month, but we'll kind of let you know that okay, this month see if you can do this.
Would you like to tailor the emails to the society?
So, say it?
Like, say if it was like a skiing sports hockey society, would you like to tailor your offer to that particular society? Like,
yeah, we could.
Hockey?
We could.
Or because it might be seem a bit more like appealing to them that you want something.
Mm-hmm. And then most number of lecture shouts are called shout-out videos.
How
So-
do you record?
So whether you get your partner to record it, or whether you get a friend to come along and record the two of you, or just ask a friend to record you, kind of again like feeding into some of the video stuff that kind of sounds working on would be great to like in terms of like group minutes, have some like really cool clips of things. Again, like the Chartered Institute, like love this stuff. They like really love it in terms of like getting that kind of highly commended grade. Like these are the sorts of things that work really well for that. And then we can mention PR and articles in paper or kind of playing on the radio. Again, it's great for our kind of partners and advertisers, especially kind of local advertisers, to say, look, we've got local campus brand managers in your city. We're going to get even more students when you're printing your voucher off and using your deals. Look, here's some examples of some local press coverage that we've had as well. That's another, and again, for the Chartered Institute and kind of your portfolio, and to be able to say, oh, I wrote this article and got it in. One thing with articles is our PR team does like to just sign them off before they get published. So if you write something, like send it in, and they'll be very quick to come back to you. Like, it won't take very long. Yeah. So there's some competitions we want to run. How do they sound? Cool.
What do you mean by hall showers?
So it's like going into a canteen, or like some halls have like common rooms or something like that. Yeah. Any questions on the competitions?
What the prizes?
What the prizes? Yeah. So this is actually a question I'm going to throw back to you guys a little bit. And we've got a session. In fact, like the next kind of session coming up is it's broken into two broad kind of sections. One, like looking to get feedback on the site and student meets at Commune, what it is, the services that Nago offers, and the other one can give feedback kind of on the campaign, its activities, the structure, and the incentives, and potentially these are the incentives. So we want to kind of hear your ideas of like what's interesting for you. What would you like to, and what makes an interesting prize. We'll look at them all. Obviously, we're not going to say yes to them all, but we're looking to kind of know kind of what would be interesting to you. So yeah, have a think, and we'll hopefully can collect some of that feedback a bit later. If you've got any kind of initial things that you think this is the most obvious prize, how can you not just know that that's what you should give us? Then let me know now.
Like a dinner?
Sorry?
At dinner?
Yeah.
Dinner?
Yeah, like on the house.
All the house.
Tickets to stuff?
Yeah.
So like some of those things are things that we've been thought about. So yeah, I mean, but okay, so come back with a suggestion in some of the feedback that we'll collect later. Come back with a suggestion of like when you say cash, like what's a reasonable amount? Like we don't have kind of huge marketing budgets to kind of throw this, but let us know like Alton Towers tickets. I write that down. Like, that's something potentially we can look at.
It'd be cool if like you had like an official certificate as well, so you could just show it in.
In terms of like student meetup.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get one at the end of the campaign.
With like your record of what you won.
Yeah. So I have a certificate somewhere, and I had like campus brand manager for the month, like the month's name, and like the things that I did. So.
Oh, that's cool.
So, cool. Excellent. Okay. So they are some competitions. Perfect. Where are we at? We're just on 11 o'clock. So I think I can now give you all a short break.